Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today, the French versus the British in the Battlecruiser tournament. The British are already guaranteed a position in the semi-finals, however, it's going to be a question of who do they fight. What point or not point they get in this battle is going to determine that. So, let's see, can they get the fourth perfect point? Can they get the perfect score? Can they get all the wins? Let's see in this video. Here she is. For probably the last time, Le Poisson Magnifique. The French have not managed to rack up enough points. They have lost, so far, all the battles that they fought in. They might have an opportunity here to save at least some of their honor by taking down the British ships, but it's not going to be easy. The French seem to be struggling to land hits. If they do hit a target, it has a very good chance to overpen, rather than doing any solid amount of damage. They can do some damage with their 6-inch secondaries, but the problem with these is that they're very jack of all trades, meaning that they basically in this battle don't do anything very well. They have an okay amount of pen with HE, because they're not using incendiary, they're using base fuse. And that means these shells are more likely to pen and do a little bit of damage, rather than set fires, which is arguably what you would want on a ship like this. These 6-inchers fire pretty quick, 7 seconds. It's even faster than the British. The British with their 7-inchers fire every 11 seconds. So with rate of fire, the French might stand a chance. It's just that this type of propellant, sorry, this type of incendiary shell, or rather the lack of it, base fuse shell, is probably going to cause issues. Something else that the AI always does is close the distance. We're looking at about 20 kilometers, 22 kilometers, but they're closing in. And the British are going, yes. Please close in. Hold on, both ships, or both formations are using line abreast. That's pretty new. They're really going to be enjoying this, because that's a lot of 7-inch guns that are now pointing at you. They weren't in range right from the get-go, at least not with HE. Their AP range sits at 20.7, so their HE sits more likely at 20.3 or so. Maybe 19. Sorry, yeah, about 19.7. And Le Poisson just fell for it. So, I hope you like baked fish, because we're about to have one baked Le Poisson Magnifique. For now, it seems that the British are firing armor piercing. When the AI figures out that those shells are mostly gonna harmlessly ricochet off of these ships, they will switch fire. They will change these shells to high explosive. And when that happens, there is a really decent chance that it's gonna be Bernie for Le Poisson Magnifique. The other French ships are still jockeying for position over here, trying to stay with Le Poisson. And their accuracy is pretty awful. Now, to be fair, they're still suffering from their own gun recoil, so you're going to see that number climb pretty quick. But I don't think that the French have anywhere near the required DPS or pen to deal with the British. The British, they're also sailing line abreast. They're actually making it work. If only for the fact that, of course, not all of these ships are in range of their secondaries. But that won't take too much longer. 19.2 means that even this ship is now in range with its secondary battery. That is tough news for the French. The British are still firing armor piercing with their secondaries. No, I'm seeing some yellows. That's HE. Or orange. Colorblind. Ooh! Ooh. That was bad. 2600 damage. 15-inch shell right through the main deck of the French ships. Main deck has an okay amount of armor, 6-inch plus 163. But the British shells just hit harder. And they penned it right where the ship is most vulnerable. Le Poisson is about to take another beating. Look at the sheer amount of shells that are coming in. That is not something you want to see when you look outside. And there is another 1900 damage on Le Poisson. Another 900. 300. At this rate, Especially if the British switch to high explosive, they're going to reduce this thing to ashes probably inside 10 minutes. Maybe even faster than that. And sadly, the French have 0 to show for it. The British have done almost 7,000 points of damage. And the French? 400. That's all. The French just haven't done much. And I'm kind of sorry to see one of these designs do so badly. I'd much rather have these designs be closer to each other in capabilities. Because that means that the matches are going to be more exciting. Like the one from China versus Japan. You never quite knew which way it was going to go. And with these battles, it's just so one-sided. So I'm going to have to find a better way to screen ships as they get sent in. To make sure that a design like this doesn't make it in. Now, I don't want to, how should I put this, disqualify ships very early. Because I do believe that everybody should have a chance. But last time around, when I did this tournament, I got 161 submissions for ships. I can't possibly check all of those. I can't possibly go through all of those manually, because that's a heck of a lot of work. I've seen people say, well, you should let the community vote. Let the community vote on 160 ships? How do you see that going down? I don't quite know how to do that. If you have a very good way of, or a suggestion of how to screen ships before they make it into the tournament, that is not going to take me like 25 hours to go through, then by all means, let me know. There we go, 6.5 minutes. Is all it took the British to take down Le Poisson. Yikes. So now it's La Galissonière and Reine Blanche. And the British... The British could probably go for round 2. And maybe round 3 and round 4. And still not be affected. Come on, Frenchies. Oh, they're not even oh, God. What's your problem? You're not even firing? It's been a long time since I've seen the gun bug. I don't think it will change much. Because Reine Blanche has been fighting. And even she's not dealing any kind of respectable damage. The only hope that the French really have right now is this. The torpedoes. If they're able to get the torpedoes to get at these British ships and cause flooding, they might have a chance. If the British detect the torpedoes or for some other reason change formation or turn around, they've already seen a torpedo and they're in full panic mode. There's a dud. Oh, that would have been interesting. They're turning to port. Where are the torps at? Here are the torps. 1 and another 3. This does give the French like something of a reprieve. Why the hell aren't you firing? Even if I select a target myself, the guns just won't fire. And I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. There should... Oh, God. That was quick. That took him less than 5 minutes. So, yeah, Reine Blanche. She's completely screwed. The British are expertly dodging all the torpedoes. Now Reine Blanche is actually dealing some damage. Oh boy. It's definitely going to be points to the British for this one. Oh, she's now finally inflicting some damage. Empress is flooding. At least a little bit. 1,500 damage. She's going to be burning down very quickly now. Now, I've seen a bunch of suggestions when it comes down to screening ships. Some say, well, you should just make sure that everybody sends in a video of some sort where they fight a ship. or results of fighting, let's say, a default ship that you have to try and take down. That doesn't exactly work, because then I'd have to watch, I don't know, maybe up to 150 different videos, if everybody even knows how to record a video. And I don't want to have that as a required skill to send in a ship. So I'm still very much trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to give the French 10 battlecruisers now, and let's see if the 3 British can still take them down. I wouldn't be surprised if the British can win this. And again, this is just for fun. This has nothing to do with the tournament anymore. This is just to see if the French have a chance if they outnumber the British 3-1. I truly don't know. We got Almirante, Triomphe, Le Poisson Magnifique, Victoire, Dunkirk, Richelieu, Le Vret, Jeanne d'Arc, Grand Saint-Louis, and Saint-Thomas d'Aquin. And they're sending some serious volleys at the British. Yeah, okay, this might have been a little bit much for the Brits. Because now the French have 120 16-inchers pointing at them. And if the Brits take a bit of flooding, they're... ooh, yeah, they're gonna lose ships pretty quick. Even by British standards. Look at that. The damage is almost half. They're not even doing that bad. Sure, the British are hurting, yeah. But they're still managing to inflict some serious damage on, of course, the name giver, Le Poisson. Yeah, I think now the Brits are going to be on the receiving end. But if it takes, like, almost triple the amount of ships to take down a similar design, then something is not quite right with your base design. I don't mean the Brits. The Empress class works a bit too well. It's the French. Triomphe. Almirante, 10% chance to hit. We're 14 clicks out. That's 2,700 points of damage. They might actually be able to take down one of the French ships between the two of them. Because Le Poisson is trying to fall back. And the fires and floodings are raging out of control. The British are still... well, they're not keeping up with the French, but they've done half of the amount of damage. Oh, that's a flash fire. So you might not have any ammunition left. I can see how that would be a problem. Still, 13k for 27. It's those 7-inchers. They're such a good option for this ship. I think they strike a really good middle ground between setting fires, range, and rate of fire. The 6-inchers, as we've seen so far, aren't terribly effective. The 8-inch, I don't even think we have ships with the 8-inch outside of the Russians. And so far, the 8-inch don't seem to do that much damage. Because the AI might be more likely to pick armor-piercing shells for them, as opposed to high explosive. 19k done by the 2 British battlecruisers. And I think they will take down Le Poisson. There goes one. And there goes New Zealand. Nevertheless, the amount of damage that the British ships are inflicting is serious. Lord Clyde is struggling to, of course, survive now. I don't think she will. But... wait. Oh, really? Did you get hit by a torpedo? You got hit by 3 torpedoes. I wonder who has torpedoes. Could it potentially be... oh, I don't know. Friendly ships? Who hurt you? Yeah, some other battlecruiser, I can tell you that much. 1.8k. Who's doing damage to their friendly counterparts? Fratricide. Yeah, there we go. It's Jeanne d'Arc. fratricide by Jeanne d'Arc as she slams 3 torpedoes into the side of Le Poisson Magnifique. With allies like these, supposed sister ships. Yikes. Who needs enemies? $25k damage done by the British versus 33k done by the French. Wow. She's turning. Considering the immense volume of fire she's under, her damage is remarkably minor. And with those 7-inchers, she's giving it out as best as she can do. Putting the Victoire on fire in multiple locations. Other main guns going up against, I think, the Thomas? No, the Almirante. Just 3.5k damage done by the French to the French. Yeah. You got a friendly ahead of you there. Almost managed to collide with the New Zealand. And Lord Clyde is struggling badly. But again, considering the amount of pressure they're under, the way that these ships have survived and done a lot of damage, I find very impressive. Very impressive by the British. Anyway, of course, the points are going to go to the Brits. And with that victory, the British assure themselves even more solidly of a place in the semi-finals. They get the points, and they move on. The game, or the challenge page, didn't quite show it yet, but their standings are phenomenal. They've won every single match. I don't particularly approve of the way they've gone about it, just burning everything down in their path. But hey, they got the wins, so here we are. The final stage is where we're going to see these guys again. They're the first in Group A. The first is going to meet the second from Group B, which can be the Chinese. It can be the Austro-Hungarians. It's going to, well, come down to what Austria-Hungary does in the next battle. So far, Austria-Hungary is not the decided winner yet, but they might be. They will fight the Japanese, and considering the firepower from the Austro-Hungarians versus Japanese, I'm actually rooting for the Japanese. I find their design much more interesting than just spitting as much 12-inch high explosive at the target and hoping that it burns. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments, and I hope to see you soon for the next match, which is going to be Austria-Hungary, Japan. See you there.